Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers with Showsite, here once again with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. And Lee, it looks as though you're on location somewhere today. Is that right?
I am. I'm at the Portland, Oregon Expo Center, and it is the weekend of the Rose City Classic Cluster. We're starting today with the Terrier Group Show, which I am the chair,
Yes.
and there are also numerous specialties on site today, with followed by 4 all breeds, and the entries are a little bit over 2,000 dogs. I think the count was 2,200
Well,
for the weekend. Yeah.
that's a terrific count. I know that you are going to be busy as today's show chair. Thank you for taking time out to get together with everyone today. We always appreciate spending time with you each week, and Lee and I enjoy spending time with all of you each week. And today we're going to be talking about something that we all say that we want from dog shows, but Lee and I have been talking and we realize that maybe all of us have a different definition. And what I'm speaking about specifically is that at the end of each episode, I wish you and your dog to have fun. That dogs are fun, so have fun with your dogs. And then Lee and I were wondering, well, what does that mean really? That maybe my having fun at a dog show might be different than Lee's having fun, and it may be different from your idea of fun. So if you would, today, let us know who you are, where you're from, and let us know what part of showing dogs is fun for you. What part makes you happiest? So today we're going to be having fun talking about fun, aren't we, Lee?
Well, we are. And I'm really curious about this because people who join my Dog Show Mentor Owner Handler Facebook group, which is open to you, you just have to answer a couple of questions so that I know what you want to get out of the group. And when I ask the questions, one of the things I say is, "What's your goal? What do you want? What do you want to get out of this?" And they always say, "I want to have fun with my dogs or my dog." And so, after seeing 800 or so people say they want to have fun with their dog, I'm really curious. What does that mean to you? What if you're going to have fun? How do you accomplish that? How do you define that? And because if fun makes you happy, then we need to define what kind of fun that would be. So, really curious. And because I'm on location, I cannot see your answers, but Dan is going to graciously tell me what you said. So, please put in the chat,
Yes,
what's fun for you?
we want to hear from you. We know that you like having fun at dog shows. We know that they cannot be fun all the time, but we are hearing from folks, Lee, and our first response is from Rageshwar, who's been joining
Oh,
us
yeah.
each week for the past several weeks. Nice to have you with us again. She loves this topic, Lee. She says it really is relevant and it acknowledges that folks are in different places in their journey, which is so very true, isn't it? A novice has a different idea of fun than somebody who's been doing it as long as you or I have.
Right.
Perhaps.
And yes, and even people who are at different levels of what they think is fun may or may not want to change that level, right,
Mm,
Dan? I mean,
yes.
like sometimes people are happy just going to shows and hanging out with their friends, or they're happy finishing dogs to their championships. And that's important to them, to finish a number of champions, or every dog that they own, or every dog that they are going to breed, they want to have a title on. So what exactly do you mean by I want to have fun with my dog.
Well, we're getting a lot of answers to that question, Lee, and I'm just going to kind of throw a few out at you, and you can respond to those that speak to you. Let's see. Boy, they're really coming in, and it's so great to have everyone participating. Megan loves seeing the different breeds and expanding her knowledge. Michael says that what's fun for him is talking with other breeders and visiting with friends that he doesn't see very often. The show ring and the results are just the icing on the cake for him. And Linda from Minnesota says fun changes for sure over time. Having a dog that enjoys being in the ring is fun. Winning, of course, is fun. Watching new owners in the ring for the first time is fun. And best of all is
Yeah.
watching her puppies that she's bred in the ring is fun. There,
Hmm.
there's a lot of definitions for fun right there.
Yeah. So breeders, for example, breeders want to see their puppies in the ring. I'm showing a puppy that I bred, I co-bred, and I enjoy showing and bred by when possible, when it seems like the right class. Um, so I absolutely agree that all these people have really interesting answers to this question. So keep them coming.
Well, Beth is saying, and this one I like. Thank you for writing, Beth. She has bloodhounds, and she will be showing in Pennsylvania soon with her granddaughter showing bloodhounds. And fun for them is accomplishing a goal. Sometimes the goal is just getting a good stack, and sometimes it's having a great up and back. For Beth, anytime her dog is giving his best, she's having fun. What I Beth broke it down there to a few, specifics, and I like that. It is fun when your dog finally sort of pulls one thing together in the ring.
Yeah, for me, having teamwork is tremendous. I mean,
Mm,
that's that feeling of success, of accomplishment, of a good dog, well trained, connection, that deep connection that you can develop with your dog. That's really important to me.
that is fun, win or lose. If you've solidified that connection in and out of the ring, it's fun for sure.
Yeah,
Carrie says that with her Bernese Mountain Dogs and Icelandic Sheepdogs, fun comes from the social part of dog shows and
yeah.
seeing the training that she's been doing get put to the test. That's great. The
It
training.
is
Talk about having fun training, Lee.
right. So if you don't like to train, you're really just a dog walker, right? I
Mm.
mean, training is that's part of what it is dog shows. And if you don't enjoy that, yeah, you're a dog walker. That means somebody else trained your dog or you didn't bother to train your dog at all. And there you are. And how is that fun being in the ring with an untrained, completely untrained dog?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. I mean, we've all been there. Sometimes we're sort of handed a dog and said, "Here, get in there and show my dog, please." And that's not always fun. But
Well, and
we,
and I'm not talking about unruly puppies, right? I mean, unruly
yes,
puppies, that's a different element altogether. But an adult dog is completely untrained, and you're trying to nail a free stack. You're trying to get your dog to stand for exam, and they're not cooperating. That's difficult to have fun. I would think. I want to hear from somebody who says, "Yeah, I'd love to get in there with a dog," and maybe that is fun. Maybe okay. So let's reframe this. Maybe it is fun to get in there with a dog that's not trained and make it all happen. Right? What if?
yes.
My favorite phrase. What if you did get in there with a dog that was completely untrained, maybe even a Rottweiler type of dog, and say,
Mm.
I'm going to pull this dog together. I'm going to have this dog just eating out of my hand, so to speak, by the end of the class.
Well,
That's sort of magical, isn't it?
yeah, and that could be fun. And now that you're saying it, I have seen a couple examples through the years where that very thing has happened. And you just stand there in awe and you realize boy, there's something happening there. That puppy was not the same puppy a few moments ago, and
Mm-hmm.
there he or she
Mm-hmm.
is. And boy, the look on that exhibitor's face tells you that this is fun. You know that that kind of turnaround in that puppy's behavior can be fun. Certainly, it's fun to watch from ringside.
And yeah, and there's a certain intensity that happens too
Yes.
when and connection, that thing that's very fun for me.
You know, I'm thinking about, well, what's fun for me, Lee? What's fun for you? You and I were talking a little bit ago, and you said that having fun at a dog show is multidimensional. So,
Oh,
what does multidimensional mean to you in this aspect of showing?
so so for me, I'm a judge, I'm a breeder, and I'm an owner handler, right? So all those things at different times, fun is different for me. So when I'm judging, it's fun for me to get to go over the dogs and to have the opportunity to judge them and sort through them. I love sorting through dogs. Love having entries where there are multiple dogs in a class where I have an opportunity to weigh the virtues of each dog. And when I'm exhibiting, as I already said, that dimension is about the connection with my dog and about my ability to get that win. I like to win.
Indeed, we all like to win. Ray would agree with you. He's in Florida and he says that he enjoys the experience of showing to judges that have personality, Lee. And I know that you are among those judges. When his
Thank
dog
you, Ray.
performs well and gets an opportunity to be seen in the groups, that Ray is having fun. So winning and placing is certainly a fun aspect of the dog show. But I want to speak about Carrie's comment, Lee. She took a burner that was a real, in all caps, a real farm dog. Uh,
Ooh.
she took that burner in the ring without training. She was able to finish the championship quickly, but Carrie says that what was fun, it was fun, but it was a lot of work for her. And this I love because it speaks to something that our intro to this week's show addressed, which is can you can you work hard and have fun at the same time? Is hard work part of your fun? And Carrie, I think if I can speak for you, your answer suggests that you had fun putting in the work with that burner. And I think that those of us um, who have had to work hard and have enjoyed success, that success is all the more fun because we know that the hard work that went into getting there. So can you talk a bit
Well,
about hard work?
yeah, I can because I have Tibetan Terriers. and there's and there's not only the training aspect, but there's the code aspect, and you have that same aspect with your dog. And in a conversation that we had, you were expressing how you enjoy grooming, and frankly, for me, and I know for a lot of other people, grooming is a it's an art, but it's also meditation. And so I think that's where, when we focus on every detail of our dog's coat and we know every inch of our dog so well, that we can really accentuate those virtues through that grooming. It's really exciting to see dogs come together from the wet dog in the tub to
Hmm.
the ring, isn't it? And
It
so
is.
it's work. I mean, unless you have a Ridgeback or a Rottweiler or, you know,
Whippet.
another, a breed that has a smoother, close coat, it's a challenge to get that coat just right, and it's that transformation is, again, I find that magical, to take that wet dog and turn him into a show dog in a matter of hours, right? Is that
Indeed.
fun for you?
It is, it is. And Denise agrees with you that love is described as a meditation. And certainly the grooming of an Irish Water Spaniel is, in fact, meditative. It doesn't start out that way, but there's a point in the process, usually when that blow dryer is working, where all of a sudden you find your heart rate slowing, you find your dog relaxing, and then it does become sort of meditative. So by the time you have to pick up your scissors, and mine is a scissored breed, you are indeed relaxed. And the beautiful thing is that I've never met an Irish Water Spaniel that does not enjoy
Mm,
being groomed on a table. They absolutely, I feel, find it meditative as well. And that's the beauty of it, is if you have a coated breed and you're spending those hours getting that coat ready, that's a bonding time that you can't get
absolutely.
any other way. I mean, it's just so basic to the tactile way of communicating human to canine. And when you pop that dog off the table and is in the trim, the best trim that you could possibly give that dog, and she is so in a great state of mind, as are you, because you've meditated essentially. That's a lot of fun. There's it's a lot of work, but boy is it fun.
Yeah, I love that, that how you speak about that, Dan. And one of the things that I'm wondering is, or that comes across to me is, well, then doesn't that mean that owner handlers who have that bond with their dog during the grooming sessions, particularly any time, but particularly right before the show, doesn't that give the owner handler an advantage over the professional handler?
I think it definitely could, because after spending all those concentrated hours really focused on your dog in a focused but relaxed way, and the sense of happiness that it brings us, yeah, sure, that's an advantage. It's not a wash and wear kind of advantage, but it definitely can be advantageous to have that experience that you share with your dog, moments or and the hours before you enter the ring.
And what about people with coats like the Ridgeback or the Rottweiler who don't spend hours and
Well,
hours and hours touching and feeling and
well,
blow drawing? Just
Lena Lena has an answer to that, or
ooh,
an answer that I think may apply. Her breed is Saluki, and Lena says the best with the Saluki is that you brush them quickly, and then they look marvelous. Minimal grooming, but maximal running in the ring. So if you're a Saluki, your whole reason for being, other than to be, spoiled and pampered and treated like the king that you are, is to run. So maybe the experience that we get on the table with a coated breed, that bonding, maybe if you're running around the ring with a gazehound like a Saluki,
mm-hmm,
or a trotting breed like a Rottweiler, um, maybe that's more advantageous, because if you're built to trot and to run, um, that can be a lot of fun to be on the other end of a lead with a breed that says, "Here, just follow my lead, watch me
right,
go." You
right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's fun to watch.
I
Elizabeth says, Lee, if I may, her short hair gets jealous of her grooming session with her lab. Um, Elizabeth knows that he senses that we are having bonding time, and he jumps on the next table. And I've seen many
yes,
dogs do that as well,
me too,
for
me
sure. If
too.
you have a multi-dog household, Lee, you
Oh,
know that they get a little bit jealous of that time and attention.
they all want to come up. They all want my turn next. They line up. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. It's
It's
wonderful and it's fun. If you can manage your time wisely so that you can get that bathing time on the right day and time, and the drying, and what some people may not know is, if you have a coated breed, you've got to factor in humidity, you've got to factor in scissoring, you've got to factor in, how do I get the dog from the car to
oh, no kidding.
and from the table to the ring without, just destroying everything that you've just just work for. And of course, we all do our best to ensure that everything goes according to plan. But but that's fun as well. It's fun to know that, hey, I've got a show on Wednesday. I've got my coated breed. In my case, I've got a curly coated breed, and so I've got to make sure that those curls are in place, if you will, by Wednesday at 2 in the afternoon. And everything has to be timed. And anyone with curly hair knows that if you step out of the door and it's a humid day, your beautiful curls turn to frizz. And if you're a curly coated dog, you've got to factor that in as the exhibitor as well. So all of
Okay.
these things you learn, but boy, it makes it fun, it makes it challenging, and of course, if you win, it's worth all of the effort. Even if you don't win, if you know you've done your
Yeah.
best.
I love the puzzling out of, problem solving. I
Yes,
love problem solving. And so when I think about what you just said, I parked this morning and my first parking spot had a, um, a huge puddle outside my door. And I looked down and there was this puddle. And so I moved my car. And then I had to walk around different areas because they were flooded. So I think it's let up a little bit out there, but it was earlier a puzzle. So,
yes.
so we've got a puzzle for you. We've got a couple words of the day. So
We
Dan's going to introduce those.
We do, and I'm going to do my best to pull those up. So, if you all have been following us this year, Lee and I decided to introduce a game. The game is called What's the Word? We're going to read you a description. You are going to guess the word that is described by the definition. So, last week's words were apparently too easy because a lot of you knew those words. So we tried to go and get a little more difficult this week. So the first word that we're going to throw out to you is as follows. The definition is a movement typified by accentuated lift of the forelimbs, but coupled with full extension of front pasterns and feet before placing these in contact with the ground. And I'll read that again. A movement typified by accentuated lift of the forelimbs, but coupled with full extension of front pasterns and feet before these are placed in contact with the ground. So if you think you know the answer to that, let us know the word.
Chat.
And Michael has guessed a good guess, as has Carrie. Let's see if a third person is going to guess the same word. Lynn has the same word, and I'm sorry to inform you that you are not correct, but very good guess. And it's one that most of us would probably consider in hearing that description. Let's see. We've got Carolyn uses the word strut. Um, Ray Cooper said gate, and this is a gate, but it's a very specific gate that we're looking for. Maybe I
Right.
can give you all a hint and a breed that moves this way.
Two words.
Yes, sorry. The answer is two words, a hyphenated word actually, but two words. And one of the breeds that moves this way is the Japanese Chin. Linda says she's picturing a min pin, and yes, a min pin moves with a hackney gait specifically, but this breed moves in a different gait altogether, and that gait is different because the forelimbs are in full extension of the front pasterns and the foot before they are placed in contact with the ground. Sabine is suggesting a breed, the Italian Greyhound. That's a very good guess. Not the breed that we're thinking about, but you are right. The Italian Greyhound, Lee, you know this as a judge of the toy group, has a very distinctive gait as well. Um, should we tell them, Lee,
I
or
think
should
it,
we?
I think it might be time if no one else has guessed it.
Okay, let's see if there's one more of you can guess. I'll just read it quickly one last time. A movement typified by accentuated lift of the forelimbs, but coupled with full extension of front pasterns and feet before placing these in contact with the ground. and we don't have any other answers. Sabina's saying, tell us, tell us. The answer is goose
Goose
stepping.
step.
Yes. So a goose step is the movement that is described in the definition that we've been talking about. Similar to a Hackney gait, it is not the same thing. So the next time that you are watching the toy group and you see the Japanese chin and you see the min pin and you see the Italian Greyhound go around, really take a look at their front action because it is it is distinctive to each of those breeds, and it is the Japanese chin that has the goose step. Uh, how about
Right.
one more word? What do you think?
I think we have time for one more.
Okay, this one's a little bit different, but let's see how you all do with the following definition. The chestnut colored spot or thumbprint situated on the skull between the ears. The chestnut colored spot or thumbprint situated on the skull between the ears. So let's see. I think that the clue chestnut colored spot may be a clue as to a breed where you will see this. You will actually see this on a number of
A number
breeds.
of breeds.
Yes, and
So you should know what the terminology is, what the correct terminology is.
yes. So if you are at a dog show and you see a dog that has a chestnut colored spot or thumbprint situated on the skull between the ears, yet Linda says Cavaliers. Yes, Cavaliers certainly have this. But what is this
What is it
thumbprint
called?
or this spot called? It has a very distinctive name. There are actually two terms that are often used. And
Two chances to win. Two chances to win.
that's right. Well, we're doing a little better here, Lee, because some folks are responding that they're learning something new. So if we can help you,
Oh, that's
um,
awesome.
well, I love this. Linda has an answer, Queen Anne's kiss. Now, that's not the answer that we're looking for, Linda, but I think we can give you partial credit because one of the answers is the kissing spot. So that little spot on top of a King Charles Spaniel's head would be called a kissing spot. There is another name that's perhaps even more, I don't want to say the word common, but more
But
familiar.
what widely used? Yeah,
Yes.
widely used.
Lena calls it the kiss of Allah. Yes. The word kiss is definitely that. And I think when you see these little spots, you actually do have a
Yeah.
compulsion to kiss that dog on its skull. It's just a very charming fluke of nature that that a Cavalier or some of these other breeds are born with that spot. But we'll give you another moment.
Anyone
Oh,
else?
Rageshwar is responding to Linda's answer. She's saying that she needs to name her next dog Queen Anne's Kiss, which is great. I think that
I
that's
love that. Oh, I'm so excited. Dan and I have such a good time deciding which terms to bring to you every week. And we learn a lot and are reminded of things that we
yes.
know that we forgot we knew. And then, of course, Dan is illustrated the Gilbert book. So he knew all of these things at one time. And I'm guessing he's continuing to get reminded of things that he already knew, which is really fun.
Indeed, this what's the word game that we're playing is a great way for each of us, for all of us, to just get a little primer on the lessons and the language that is used in the sport of dogs. If you're a wordsmith, Lee, as you and I are, one of the fun aspects of showing dogs is getting to be fluent in the language of
Absolutely.
each of the various breeds, and this game is one way that we're going to encourage everyone to become familiar with some of the maybe less familiar terms that are used to describe our
Right.
breed.
And the other thing that's interesting is that people will stand ringside and someone will toss out a term and the person standing there won't really know what that means. but then they don't ask.
Yes.
And then they sort of stumble through dog shows for a while until they can finally understand the language and the terminology. And in Dog Show Mentor, in the Dog Show Mentor program, we talk about terminology. We talk about how do we speak about different terms that come up. So definitely. Okay, shall we tell them?
We should tell them, and we've got a few good answers. Sabine, her answer was Blenheim spot, and I do believe that that is referred to in the Cavalier breed as a Blenheim
Mm-hmm.
spot on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Melinda says that her breed, Melinda, you haven't given us your breed, but although it's not a chestnut spot, in her breed that is called an angel kiss. There's that word kiss again.
Mm-hmm.
The answer that we were looking for is a lozenge
Lozenge.
mark. So if you think of a throat lozenge, those spots are often in the shape of a lozenge, not a perfect circle, more of a, I guess you could say an oval, but certainly
Mm-hmm.
a lozenge shape. So the next time that you're at a show and you see that little spot and you want to have a conversation with the exhibitor who's on the other end of the lead, why don't you say, well, that's a really wonderful kissing spot, or look at that lozenge mark. It's perfect. And you may be surprised that in the reaction that that exhibitor gives you, the fact that you understood exactly what it was that you were looking at. And they probably wouldn't be offended, depending on the breed, if you bent down and gave that little guy a kiss on the head, asking permission first, of course. But anyway, that was our what's the word for this week. And Lee, I know that you're very busy as show chair today, so we don't want
Yeah,
to keep
I have
you
to jump off. Yep.
any longer than you are. Um, but anyway, thank you for taking time to play the game and to speak with all of us today about having fun. I know that I learned a lot about what fun means, and I hope that if you're joining us this week, that you have a sense of what fun means for you. What part of your participation in the sport of purebred dogs is fun, or what aspects, maybe there are more than one aspect that you get great joy and happiness by participating in. Um, yeah,
And when you join my Dog Show Mentor Owner Handler Facebook group and you say you want to have fun with your dog, please be specific. Think about what it is that you think is fun about dog shows and share that with me in the question area when you enter. So thank
yes.
you so much.
Yes, don't hesitate to reach out to Lee. I know that Lee, you always get back to folks very, very quickly with any questions, any concerns. So don't hesitate to reach out to Lee about the Dog Show Mentor Program. Don't hesitate to reach out to Megan at showsitemagazine.com to celebrate your wins in the ring. And Megan, like Lee, is always available and ready to respond to help you with your goals, whether your goal is having fun or whether your goal is to celebrate a recent win. Lee and Megan are always happy to hear from you, as am I. Make sure that you look to Ring Ready within Showsite Magazine. Lee has a wonderful article in the current issue. I have an article that is there as well. You can find all of the articles at showsitemagazine.com by going to the current issue, and you can read the magazine there. If you're at the Rose City Classic this weekend, I'm sure that there are hard copies of the magazines for you to take home with you so that you can read Lee's article and my article at your leisure. So,
I can't wait to see it in hard copy.
yes, it actually there's an Irish Water Spaniel on the cover of the January issue, which is wonderful when a rare breed becomes a cover dog. So that's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
it
But
is.
anyway, thank you all for joining us. And I'm just going to say goodbye this week by again wishing that you all have fun with your dogs. But this time I'm going to ask you to do a little research into exactly what part of showing dogs is most fun for you.
Right. And at Dog Show Mentor, we say, make sure you have fun with your dog and that your dog has fun with you. See you in the winner's circle.
Thank you,
Bye,
Lee. Bye,
everybody.
bye everyone. And thank you for joining us today. Lee, thank you for taking the time. I don't know how you're able to sort of be uninterrupted for this 30 minutes, but
I
I'm
found